scraping this thick varnish off the butt here. I'll be sanding for the rest of my life to get these couple of thick spots gone, so just real carefully scraping that off with my knife. That's better. Mo better. It'll do. Got that fairly well handled. One of these, huh? There it comes. That thing was glued on there. It's really soaking that oil up. Using Danish oil. I know a lot of people use linseed oil and boiled linseed oil. I didn't have an option for boiled linseed oil. I think that's probably the best from a little bit reading I've been doing. But they said Danish oil is another acceptable oil to use. Brings out the grain well. You boil it every day for a week, every week for a month, every month for a year. I don't know that I'll get quite that carried away, but definitely can do it every day for a week, and more than likely can probably also do it every week for a month. That'd be pretty easy to schedule and stay on top of. And my weather here isn't that bad. It's not going to be out in the rain. I do it every couple, 3-4 months. Do it a couple times in the summer when it's being used. Real good again before it gets put away for winter, and it'll be inside in the garage for winter. And then oil it up real good again a few times early in the spring before we go to use it. That's probably plenty. We'll see how it goes. That looks nice. I like it. Anyway, now we gotta set her inside, let it dry. Wrapping is relatively simple. I'm going to be using paracord, and I'm going to use it to protect this area of the handle from overstrikes. So you miss the wood with the axe head and hit the handle and booger it up, or you go in deep and hit a portion of the wood, it splits funny. Portion of the wood that you're splitting. But basically you're going to want to make a loop that goes down past the area that you're going to end your wraps. So you've got this loop, you've got one loose end up here, it's already been melted, so it's fine. And then what you're going to do is just go over that and then just start wrapping around tight very tight, as tight as you can, within reason. And you just keep wrapping until you get down past the point. And I may actually do this twice. You want to try and keep this as straight as possible, because when you get to the end, you're going to cut this rope off, you're going to loop it under this loop, and you're going to pull that through, and it pulls the end up tight underneath the frapping, so that you don't have to worry about a knot coming undone or this ever coming loose, because it's always pulled up inside. And this might be a little bit tricky because it's going right up against that lip of that axe head here by the handle. But I think we can pull her through. This should last me the rest of my natural life. So as long as I take care of it and don't do something silly and bust it off on something, we should be fine. I'm getting some twists in here because I didn't roll it off. I let it uncoil. So you want to let it roll off, not twist off. You know, in a circular pattern, you wrap circles around it, and you don't want to wrap around the handle either, because again you'll get twists in your paracord. Come down here, when we pull that up, it'll pull that up in tight. But on the back side we're getting some space. Pulling it tight, it's kind of working its way down the... Well, there goes my spool. That's how Fred does it. Watch many of my videos, you find that I drop everything. I've gone far enough down now. That's pretty tight. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Guess I can sharpen my knife. Spool that up. Okay, so that may be, that's a little long. Go ahead and cut a little more off of that. Yeah, I can sharpen this poor knife. Okay, so I've got about this much. When I pull that up in there, I don't want to pull it all the way through the top, so I could actually even shorten that a little bit more, because I want to pull it up in there a ways, but I don't want to pull it out the top. That just look horrible. So that goes in here. I've got about 2 inches, plus I'll pull up in here some. So you take that and we'll just put that underneath and put it through the loop. Then we come to this end where this loose, see how that's pulling up? It's pulling up into that rope, it's pulling that rope up underneath. And we'll pull that up in, it'll make a little lump. Should get nice, and I just pulled it all the way out. I pulled it too far. Well, there you go. I got too carried away. Now I gotta start over. Yeah, now I gotta start over. Well, one thing about it, we're gonna go ahead and leave this unmelted section on top now, because the other end is nice and melted. So we'll start over. And we'll do it again. Well, there's your lesson learned. I wouldn't have thought to warn you about that. Yeah, spinning it like this, as you can see, I'm not careful. I'm getting twists in my rope there. So this loop is twisting on me, so we're going to keep that down. We'll keep it a little longer this time. We won't cut it so short. As long as it doesn't pull all the way up in. I think we'll go with that. We got about 3.5 inches this time. So we'll put that through our loop like that. We'll pull this in. You just need to pull it far enough to lock it in there. Not pull it all the way through this time. That's much tighter this time. That actually worked out better. So we're going to call that good. Carefully cut this off so that I don't mar up the handle more. That's up inside. I would have liked to have pulled that all the way up inside too, but it's not going to happen, so we'll go ahead and cut it off right there. Tuck it up in there a little bit. And there you go. Nice protection on your axe handle. And as you can see, just a little lump there where the string pulled up in and stayed tight. That should not come loose. Should be good and strong for a long time. Good.